And good afternoon. Hope you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world we're in. This is another scene for Unmask Orlando, the Werewolf the Apocalypse venue. This evening's scene brings us to an somewhat unfamiliar location. Though to several members of the Sept it is quite familiar. It was the first location of the Hive, located about halfway between the heart of Aeolus and Unbroken Accord. And someone is trying to get out. Yuri, the twin brother of Dmitria Chernov, is making an escape attempt. The primary person that was responsible for keeping an eye on him is not there. He can only guess that his father is once again attempting infiltration at Heart of Aeolus to get his sister back. So he waits until Victor has fallen asleep, because he knows he will.
That he will. He has a couple of people keeping him busy.
Yes, he does, and Yuri is quite glad for that. It's drawn the attention away from him for a while. So he, as everyone has fallen asleep, he slips out. And he knows about where the Sept is, if for no other reason than his father's obsession with it. So he makes his way there. He has no idea when he gets there what he's supposed to do or who he's supposed to see, but all he knows is right now he wants his sister. And he slips into the Umbra and makes his way to the Sept that way. It's significantly easier. And as he crosses into the Bon, it sets off all of the alarm bells. Every ward they have is going off.
Which catches the attention of the Sept Beta and the newest member of the Elder Council, who also happen to be packmates.
Yes, it also draws the attention of the warder, who, for once, is not in lupus. No, he is in Krynos and angry.
Oh, shit.
But it has also drawn the attention of Samara. And it doesn't take much for her to realize exactly who this is. The second she sees him, she knows.
Sebastian can guess as well because he looks a lot like his sister and his mother. He
Which
just
she knows that David is not going to listen to her, especially he's not listening to much of anyone right now.
Yeah, it's probably gonna take Dev. Dev is actually he's going to shift to Krynos and get in front of David. Stand down.
David will snarl a little bit, but step back and shift back down into Lupus.
And when he does that, Dev will relax back into Hamid. He's a
And
kid.
this has also brought several other people running to the edge of the Sept, including the Sept Alpha.
Yep.
And Yuri has seen pictures of Samara. So he knows precisely who this is. This is his mother.
Sebastian sends out in the pack link who this is. There's Yuri. Since his entire pack is there.
Yuri is kind of dumbfounded as he just stares at Samara.
Sebastian will walk over and he'll say very softly, "Are you Yuri?"
He nods.
He nods.
That's my mama.
Yeah, it is. You can go to her, you know.
Samara is kind of standing there fighting back tears. And it takes him a second to gather the courage to do it, but he does come running over to her and embraces her tight.
So that causes Sebastian and Dev both to kind of tear up and smile.
And he is a good bit taller than her. She's quite small. He took after his father in the height department, clearly.
Mm,
Whereas Demi took more after Samara.
yep.
And they both just break down sobbing.
Sebastian kind of says fuck it and he just starts performing the rite of cleansing on both of them. Just get them cleansed, get him cleansed, and she doesn't need it, but you know, since they're hugging each other, he may as well just do it on both of them. So he's just going to, as subtly as he possibly can, perform the rite of cleansing on them while they're hugging so that the wards will stop going off.
Right.
Because that's...
it has alerted literally everyone on Sept that something is going the fuck on.
Yep, and it is probably, it's caught the attention of everybody, especially anybody that was in the Umbra. So, which I can imagine that Seeker probably would have been curious enough to come over and look.
Probably.
um, seeing what's going on. And she hasn't been told about Yuri yet, has she?
No, she hasn't. The only ones who knew were the pack.
Yep. So that gives her pause, but she is not going to interrupt, so she will wait until later to ask. So she just kind of slinks away. Like, nope, not interrupting this. That might be lupus, but I know better.
Yeah, David has, slinked off because he got scolded. He is, slinking off with his tail between his legs.
He can go back to snow.
No, wrong, David.
Mid Thunder.
Mid Thunder.
Right. Yes. Well, yeah, he got scolded
Yep.
by the sept beta. He's like, fuck off.
Off he goes with his tail between his legs.
Off you go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And he's probably like, they have this under control anyway.
Exactly. The fucking alpha, beta, 2 members of the fucking Elder Council are here. I don't need to be here. I have precisely 0 reason to be here right now. Other than my boards are going off.
Arguably the most powerful, quote unquote, pack on Sept.
Right.
Because of how many leadership members are in the pack. Jeez. So, yeah, Sebastian and Dev aren't about to interrupt them. Aside from doing the rite of cleansing, and Sebastian steps back.
Where's Demi?
Sebastian realizes he doesn't know if she's at home or with Matthias.
Which they were going to, ask about Matthias staying with them anyway, so...
Oh, yeah. So
probably one and the same.
At home, and Matthias is probably there, which that's going to be fun and awkward.
Mm-hmm. At home. Do you want to go see her? Please, I've felt so lost without her. Samara nods and kind of gently takes his hand. Moira looks to Dev kind of like, do you need me here or not?
He shakes his head. They got this.
And Noah will also kind of retreat at that. They don't need him there.
Yeah, even Dev and Sebastian, nope. They're going to let Samara do that by herself.
He stops Sebastian before he gets too far.
Sebastian will look to him.
You're the one that saved my mama, right?
He nods. I am, and my packmate over there. He points to Dev.
You should know. Papa hasn't been at the hive.
He furrows his brow. He hasn't.
Not for over a week.
Where do you think he's been?
If I know Papa, trying to get Demi back.
He rubs his face. Okay. Thank you. He's going to pack link that back to Noah and Moira and Dev that it's very likely that Dimitri has already infiltrated the sept again.
Yep, because they know that he's got Sabat connections, which means he can change his face.
Yep. So they need to examine everyone new that's come on sept within the last week. Which means all of those elder phaladoxes.
And Maria's dad.
Yep. And Sebastian is not looking forward to this at all whatsoever.
But yeah, at that point, they will head back to the house. And she can probably feel that her brother is close.
Oh, yeah. She would be pacing inside the house.
After Matthias asked what was going on, he would have left because he wants to let the family reunion be family.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not yet. He's not at that level yet.
Not yet. He'll get there. Which she'll tell him that she'll catch up with him later. She'll want to introduce Yuri to him anyway.
Yeah, Samara opens the door.
As soon as she opens the door, Demi is pretty much right there.
Oh yeah, and Yuri is rushing into the door and picking his sister up in the tightest of hugs.
She hugs him back and just instant tears streaming down her face.
I missed you so much.
I missed you too. I thought I was never going to see you again.
I thought the same.
You're here. You found me.
I waited till everyone fell asleep and I ran.
She presses her forehead to his. They're going to come after you, you know?
Papa's probably already here. He hasn't been on the set, in the hive at all. Not in over a week.
She just nods slowly, biting her lip. I don't want him to take you from me again.
He just hugs her.
She hugs him back. Just afraid to let him go.
Samara has tears just streaming down her cheeks.
Demi will look over to Samara. You won't let them take him from me again, will you?
Never again.
She nods.
Not you. Not him.
You either.
If he tries, I will kill him myself.
Demi swallows. It's a little bit hard for her to hear, but if she had to choose, she would choose Yuri in a heartbeat. She clings to him.
He just holds her and strokes her hair. Never thought I'd see you again.
I thought the same. I thought you honestly thought that they might kill you.
Not saying they didn't try. He kind of rolls up his sleeve, and there are very clear marks where handcuffs were, if she had to guess from how deep and raw they are, probably silver handcuffs.
Her jaw drops. She touches the wound gently. Mama, can you heal him?
She nods and comes over.
We both have we're both really sensitive to silver.
It's your meta's deformity.
She nods.
Let's see. And her fucking roll for this is asinine.
She has all of it, huh?
And it's their rage, right? Is the target?
Yes, it is the target's current rage.
Oh god, it's not very high. Okay.
Or base difficulty of 3.
Yeah, that's precisely what his is. So oh, come on. Fucking 3-1. Are you kidding me?
Really? God.
Luckily, with Mother's Touch, that's still 3 levels of damage healed because it's not every other level, unlike with Eve's Touch.
Yeah, Mother's Touch is it's 1 level per success.
So that's still 3 levels of
which I would say he probably didn't take more than 3 ag, so
no.
Should be pretty healed up. I really need to learn how to do that.
I can teach you. I can teach you both.
She smiles. I would like that.
There's a lesser version, but it wouldn't help in this situation. But for minor cuts and bruises, it works.
She nods.
He kind of rubs his wrist a little bit.
She kisses over where the wounds were.
Samara winces a little bit. She tries not to, but
Demi looks over to her. What's wrong?
you two are more than brother and sister, aren't you?
It doesn't really compute for Demi, so
You're also lovers.
I love him more than anything.
She sighs. She'll use the terminology that she has used since arriving. He makes you feel good.
She nods. Better than anyone ever has.
She nods. Shh, it's okay, buddy.
Demi looks up to Yuri.
He looks down at her and just smiles.
She smiles back to him. She's so happy to see him. She is a little worried about her mom.
Yeah, I think it just brings back a lot of very traumatic memories for her.
Yeah, for sure. She will very quickly learn that their relationship is nothing like that.
Are you too hungry?
Yeah. I know Yuri probably is. He came a long way.
He nods. I'm famished. How about I order some pizza?
Okay.
She kisses each of them on the cheek and then grabs her cell phone and steps outside to order pizza. She needs a breather.
Demi will motion for Yuri to sit on the couch.
He nods and he'll move over and sit down, kind of hold his arms out for her.
She comes over and sits on his lap.
And he'll just kind of bury his face in her hair.
She smiles. I really missed you.
I missed you too so much. Vanessa's been especially cruel lately.
She frowns. I'm sorry.
I think 'cause Maxine ran away too.
Yeah, Maxine's here.
No wonder Papa's here.
We need to figure out who he is.
He nods.
Because we both know he doesn't look like him.
No, not with his connections. And his normal face is the only one he wears more than once.
She nods.
Hopefully not many people have come here in the last week or so.
There was a big meeting yesterday where a lot of Philodoxes came.
Oh no.
So there's been a lot of new people coming in.
That's just gonna make it so much harder.
She nods. I don't even know how they'll be able to tell.
Me either. He changes so perfectly. And he changes everything. Samara's going to leave them in there for a bit. Because she needs to have a good cry.
Oh.
So she is going to order the pizza and then promptly, break down sobbing.
If Sebastian can feel that, he will come and hold her.
Oh yeah, she is not hiding it from the backlink. She is too upset right now to hide it.
Yeah, then Sebastian will immediately find her and just hold her in his arms for a little while.
He can probably guess what it is from the way,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
they were acting. So she just kind of stays out there with him for a while. In fact, she probably lets them catch up a little bit while waiting on the pizza.
Well, if they realize that they're being given the time, I know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Demi would take her up to her room. Would take him up to her room.
Yep. Which means we can come out to these two.
Yeah, so Sebastian holds her.
I,
Do you want to talk about it?
I should have figured that, given who was raising them,
He'll nod.
it just brings back a lot of really, really terrible memories that I hate so much.
I know. And if from the way that I at least saw out of how she talked about him and how he was wanting to get to her, I don't think that it's that kind of relationship. One forcing the other.
God, no, I don't think so at all. I just.
I know it's hard. We'll get through it. All of us as a family.
He was restrained with silver handcuffs.
Fuck.
And he shares her deformity,
With the silver intolerance.
the hypersensitivity to it.
Yeah. Oof. Ow. That poor kid.
I healed him.
He nods.
Timmy said she needed to learn it, and I told her I'd teach her.
Good.
I know they're technically cubs and should be with Bailey, but
Bailey, like I did when I was den father, lets cubs learn from who is best equipped to teach them. He knows he can't teach them everything. So he will usually pair them or group them off with someone of their own auspice to teach them their auspice things. Which, of course, himself teaching the Phyllodoxes. But
the whole one.
I'm sure they'll get more.
She smiles a little bit and leans into him.
So I really don't think he's going to have a problem with you teaching your kids. And neither will.
There's something we need to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. I know it's yours.
I know. And from the decision handed down yesterday, I don't.
I'm going to talk to Tolia.
He nods. Stay there with him.
I don't want to be away from you, but
I don't want to be away from you either, but I also don't want either of us punished. Especially you. I don't care so much about me, but I don't want you punished. You've been through enough. You don't need a punishment, right?
then I'll talk to Tolia later.
And I'll come see you as much as I can. And Seeker and Scott have each other. But I know they'll come see you too.
I don't know what we're going to do once they're born, but
I'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, just work out the place to be, and maybe Tolia will have some ideas.
she nods.
He holds her close. I love you.
I love you too.
I.
And after this, I go on birth control.
He nods. Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
Because I'm not doing this again. I
No.
love my kids, but
We'll get ours. We'll get our one, and then
birthing Metis is not easy.
I can imagine not. No, definitely not.
I'm
We'll get our
very
one.
glad we'll have Alexi this time.
Yeah, me too. I need to tell you something. Actually,
Okay.
well, you know that I went to see Alyssa last night.
She nods.
I told her about us.
I don't imagine her reaction was spectacular.
She scolded me for breaking the litany, but other than that, she was fine. She more than scolded me. She fucking hit me. God, he shakes his head.
Oh, big tough guard is scared of his wife.
Yes. Yes, I am. When she stares you down the way that she stared me down, you'll be scared too. Shivers.
I wish we could control who we fell in love with, but it's not
Yeah.
something we can do.
No, it isn't. No, it's not. Not that I want to give up being in love with you.
Me either.
She's in love with somebody. And
Oh.
he's really nice. Really nice, actually. He's big. Really big. But really nice. It's weird.
Are we talking Tolia big?
Not quite. More his son.
I think I've met
Xenia.
that one.
Oh, you will. You'll meet them all, especially if you're gonna go see that. If you're gonna go stay there, you will meet them all. They're a big fucking family.
That I guess I'm technically a part of.
You are a part of it. He claimed you. You're his.
And I
You
mean,
may
I'm
as well be with Samara Petrova.
the half sibling of most of them, so
Mm-hmm.
that's a mind fucking and a half.
Yeah, you were actually going to get to meet Castiel. He was going to come with us to get Yuri, but that's not going to happen. Although, oh, he could still help us.
Now, he probably wouldn't know about the aspect. He did mention that he can
That he can see stuff.
see stuff and he can, astral project.
Yep.
Which blew
He
fucking Sebastian's mind.
did blew his fucking mind. But he's like, he still might actually be able to help us. I need to talk to him, but I think he still might actually be able to help.
Oh,
Yeah, he can do some weird shit. Like,
I mean, vampires can do weird shit.
he
They've changed
said
my brother's face, so
this is true. He said he can see stuff.
see stuff.
Yeah, I want him to elaborate on that, so I'm gonna go back and talk to him.
Understandable.
I also have to tell him that he doesn't get to go break spirals. He's gonna be sad.
I'm sure we'll eventually find a mission that he can help us with.
He'll nod.
We're bringers of light.
Oh yeah. There will always be work for us to do.
As long as the worm exists.
But I know that he especially wants to make sure that your brother no longer exists.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Because of what he did to Alyssa.
After everything he's put me through, I have fantasized for a long time about killing him.
Oh, well, we don't have to kill him right away. Sebastian deadpan says that too. He is not opposed to torturing a motherfucker.
Samara is somewhat opposed to torturing a motherfucker.
He'll cut his fingers off with a fucking cigar cutter. Sebastian can be quite sadistic.
Should probably go get the pizza.
Probably. We need to start walking to the gate.
We do. With any luck, we'll run into, Talia, or at least one of the Petrovas that I can talk to about this mess.
Is Talia still staying on Sept? He might be.
It's only been a day.
Well, he didn't actually need to be there for the Vilodox meeting. He was there because of his visa. He could have stayed at her apartment. I should have her run into Alexei.
At which point Alexei would be like, holy shit, you
need to talk to my father.
You are definitely one of us.
You would. Actually, I could have her run into Misha.
True.
That would be interesting. I think I'll do that. Which would be her aunt, for all intents and purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Who looks just fucking like her. Smars can fucking double take. So yeah, as they're walking, they run into her.
And Samara does indeed do a double take, like, wait.
So does Misha.
Yeah, because she looks almost identical to fucking Katya.
Uh-huh. And Tolia hasn't really told anybody about Samara yet because he hasn't got around to it. She looks at her. Hello. And she has a Russian accent. Very much.
Which, is a dead giveaway on this sept for the Petrovas, with the exception of Alexei.
Mm-hmm.
Of my Alexei.
Yep.
The only Russian who isn't a Petrova.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, he is the only Russian that isn't a Petrova
Yeah,
on the sept.
she kind of looks up. Hi.
You look like a member of my family, but I don't know you.
Let me guess. Petrova?
Ah, Misha. I'm Tolia's sister.
I guess Tolia hasn't gotten around to telling everyone yet.
That fucker works on his own time.
I'm Samara Ivanov. Well, technically, I don't have a legal name.
Well, that is definitely something my brother can help you with.
I was born in a black spiral hive.
Where?
The hive of the glowing sea.
Her jaw kind of drops. Are you have to be Sabala's?
She nods.
She wraps her arms around her.
We did a rite of heritage.
I don't need a rite of heritage to know you're hers.
Tolia wanted to know for sure.
Of course he did. Well, I, for one, welcome you to the family. We're all crazy, so get used to it.
Talia kind of claimed me. So
Oh, well, then there's no getting out of it. I am
he's a rank 6. I'm not going to argue.
I am probably young enough to be his child, but I am in fact his sister, his baby sister.
She smiles.
But I have 2 children of my own. They are twins, and they are. She rolls her eyes, a bit insufferable.
She
One
winces a little bit at the mention of twins.
one more than the other. She tilts her head.
I'm
Touchy.
a twin.
Oh,
And my brother is the one who perpetrated these kidnappings.
fuck. I'm so sorry.
And the reason that I bear the scars of Meta's birth.
And I would be willing to bet you were not a willing participant in that.
She looks away.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And she
I
just
I
hugs her
wouldn't
again.
I
She
wouldn't
does have
trade
a
my
very
children for anything.
she does have a very maternal energy about her.
I wouldn't trade my children for anything.
Of course not. But it's still horrible how they came about. For that, I am sorry.
That's what it dawns on her that she said children. One Metasperth is hard enough to
Wait,
survive.
did you said children two Metis? You had two.
Twins.
How are you alive?
She looks over to Sebastian.
Which Sebastian finger waves to Misha because he's a shithead.
He found me hours after I had given birth.
Thank fuck for Sebastian, huh?
I was doped up on morphine and could barely keep my eyes open from the blood loss, and he dragged me out of there.
She nods. Good. I'm glad he saved you.
Didn't even know that there was a second baby.
No.
Not until we pulled my daughter out. And I asked her who it was she was calling out for in the middle of the night.
Oh. And it was her twin.
She nods.
I'm
Fraternal boy and girl.
Are
Just
they
like
in
me
love?
and Dimitri.
Are they in love with each other?
She nods.
She nods. So are my twins. They even have a child.
Well, that can't happen.
No.
With mine, anyway.
It won't happen with mine anymore either because after the first one, I put Tatiana on birth control. The good stuff, the stuff I make. And their daughter has been on birth control since she hit puberty.
Though we find ourselves in a bit of a predicament.
Sebastian then comes closer and puts his hand in Samara's, looking around, making sure there's nobody, which there isn't. They're in an obscure enough location at the sept gate that there's really nobody else around here. Oh, you two are together.
It's not like we meant for it to happen.
Of course not. Nobody does. I'm not judging or anything. But I'm going to guess that you really broke the litany.
She nods.
Sebastian nods. Misha looks like she wants to reach over and smack Sebastian again. And Samara will notice that Misha isn't really much taller than her. Maybe a couple of inches. And don't worry. We'll take care of you. You need a place to stay?
She nods. I was going to ask Tolia.
Oh, he will. He'll let you. No question about that. And most of us live in the same house. It's a mansion near Daytona Beach. So even if you in a house full of a bunch of crazies, there's actually room to have your own privacy.
She kind of squeezes Sebastian's hand.
Sebastian squeezes hers back. And he'll look to Misha. Thank you. Of course. How long has my family been cleaning up your messes, huh? He looks wounded. Fuck. Misha. She smirks.
Samara tried really hard not to giggle there, but she did.
Especially with as nonchalantly as Misha said it. Like,
I'm as much to blame as he is.
I don't know, but I gotta pick on him. He's basically my nephew. I've known him a long time. And Sebastian will nod. Yes, I've known your family for as long as I can remember, actually. It's, my sister has been in your family for a long time. Misha will nod. She has. So have you. I don't think you can escape. He'll say, I never thought I could. And she'll look to Sebastian seriously, though I am glad to hear that you and Rose are speaking again. It made me very sad to hear that you weren't. He just kind of looks down because he knows that was pretty much all his fault.
I mean, part of that was, Hirano, but,
Yeah, part of that was Verona, but yes, after I came out of Verona, Petra came to me and I realized that life's too short to keep being petty, and I only have one twin. So Misha nods at that. Good.
Samara's eyes kind of widen a little bit. Sebastian, you and I are both twins.
We are. Oh, fuck. Misha realizes that too. Oh, fuck. And you both also have twins.
She nods.
And you've already had twin metas. Oh, for fuck's sake. We're gonna have to keep a very close eye on you. I'll probably have to call Alexi over every week. Myself, I have pretty good. I'll have to work with Alexi. We, between the two of us, we should be able to keep up with your care.
It becomes quite clear that the idea hadn't really dawned on her that it could be twin metas again.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just this look of absolute terror on her face.
Sebastian wraps his arms around her. Go ahead and put Oh, both of their overlays. There we go. It's okay. Now you have an immense amount of support and a lot of Garu with medical knowledge. It'll be okay.
I suppose you're right. I have a twin metas birth with no healing at all. I think I can handle this.
Misha takes Samara's hand and she pulls both of them a bit more aside. And if something goes really wrong, Toya will not let you die. His tears can heal anything, can even bring people back to life.
Her eyes widen a little bit at that.
He is the embodiment of the Phoenix. Sebastian didn't even know that, so he's just like, oh, but what?
Wow.
But this family's secret.
She nods.
She looks to Sebastian and he nods.
Would
Apparently,
you like to meet the kids?
they would love to.
We were out here picking up pizza.
I was just out walking, actually about to head off, but I can stay. It's okay. I would love to meet them. Because she was just going to go back to Lucas.
The pizza does eventually arrive. Better a
which,
little late than never.
which Sebastian will get it and pay and all that.
Samara does glare at him a little bit when he pays for it, because, she was the one who ordered it. She had intended on paying for it.
What?
I could have paid for it, I was the one who ordered it.
So? I'm the one that got it, so I paid for it. He sticks
You're
his tongue
such an
out.
ass.
He sticks his tongue out at her.
You are such a fucking ragabash.
Yes, I am.
And she would have made sure to get, a pretty decent variety, because she has absolutely no idea what Yuri likes at all.
And I'm sure she got enough just in case Scott and Seeker happen to come by.
Exactly.
Because who knows what the fuck they're doing. Say those two are about inseparable these days.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they come back to the house.
Yep, and you probably find Yuri and Demi. So they're probably back downstairs by now.
Yeah, they should be back downstairs by now. It probably took them a good half hour, 45 minutes to get out to the entrance to the sept and back.
Yep. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. So Misha will walk in with them.
Yep, and Samara will set the pizzas down on the dining room table.
And as they are all Theurges, save Sebastian, Misha and the twins, they do sort of feel this spiritual connection to her. Even though she's not biologically related to them, technically, they still feel the connection because Tolia has claimed Samara, and that's a very spiritual thing. So, Demi will cock her head.
Yeah, Yuri does the same, kind of like,
And of course, the twins both notice that Misha looks an awful lot like their mother.
Mm-hmm. Like my mama.
She smiles. I am your aunt. I am Misha. It's like she's not even going to try to say anything different. She's just going to say that she's Aunt Misha.
He's not terribly sure what aunt is yet, but
Oh, right. You probably don't know what that means. I am related to your mother. We are family.
he nods.
Demi will nod. And she'll say, I'm Demi and this is Yuri. And Misha will nod. Hello, Demi and Yuri. It is nice to meet you. Demi will smile and hold Yuri's hand.
Oh yeah, he is holding her hand tight and has not let go.
And Misha looks between the two and she knows that they have pretty much the exact same relationship that her twins do. Probably closer.
Much less jealousy issues.
Right? Which is good. Fuck. That's why she called her too insufferable. She loves them, but goddamn. Misha will sit down and just kind of be there with them for a while.
Samara looks over at her. My brother's somewhere on Sept.
She blinks
Yuri
here.
said he hasn't been in the hive for over a week.
Oh, okay. I
Which means
will
he's probably coming after Demi.
make sure she does not get left alone. And I will see what I can do spiritually. I'm a very powerful theurge. If I can get a spirit to rat him out.
She nods.
Sometimes might have to smack the spirits around a bit to get them to do what you want, but I can do it.
Just kind of, well, it's not generally how I treat spirits, but
She is a straight up Shadow Lord. Shadow Lords and Uktena both kind of abuse the spirits if they need to. Shadow Lords especially, they like to. If they can't get them to play nice, they'll make them. But yeah, Misha will. She's determined to try and get a spirit to rat out Dimitri. Misha doesn't have his name, does she?
no.
What is your brother's actual name?
Dmitry Sharnov.
Because I need that if I'm
That's,
going to find him.
that's the name he's chosen, anyway.
Well, if that's the name he's been using since he came out the spiral, then that's his name.
That's why he named Demi what he did.
Demetria. Demi nods.
And he evidently named Yuri after me. Or what I used to be called.
She'll nod. There's not many Russian names that begin with Y, so I can guess what it was.
But yeah, Yuri probably, chows down on the pizza because they probably weren't feeding him too terribly much.
Probably not. Nope.
Yeah, and Samara kind of, tempers his appetite because she doesn't want him making himself sick.
Right? Demi will eat some of the pizza. She probably doesn't eat more than one piece anyway, but she's small.
Yeah, he's, a fucking Garu cub. He's got a voracious appetite.
She is too, but she's small.
True, he's a good bit larger than she is.
Sebastian will probably designate an entire pizza for himself.
As long as, he doesn't steal Samara's favorite. They'll be fine.
Of course not. He's
Because
not
then
that
she'll
much.
have to smack him.
He's not that much of a dick, especially not
because she's pregnant.
because she's pregnant and Misha is here. He doesn't know what it is about tiny women, but they all scare the shit out of him. He's thinking to himself, all the women in my life are tiny and they all scare the fuck out of me. I don't know what it is. Except for Delphia, but she still scares him.
And she's a fucking Amazon.
Misha will eat some pizza that does not have pork on it.
She actually probably did not order any that has pork on it, with the exception of her own pizza.
Cool.
Because Hawaiian pizza.
Oh, yeah. Ham and pineapple.
Yep.
Which,
That is her favorite.
She can have that all to herself. Yep. Misha won't touch it. She, like her brother, is Muslim. And that is one thing that will very much get explained to Samara when she goes to stay there, is that it is a halal household.
But she would be fine with that. This is literally the only time she ever eats pork.
Right.
It's on her fucking pizza. What did it say? Ham and pineapple pizza?
That is just something that he explains to everybody when they're going to come stay there.
She will have to explain that to the kids later.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sebastian's going to have them on his own.
Yep. Yep, he is.
And she feels bad for that, but this is also partially his fault.
It is. He gets to suffer the consequences too. He'll probably be asking Seeker and Scott for help.
Probably.
So, but yeah,
Do we want to get the Maeve Nate thing out of the way? Since that's probably going to lead to,
No, because I'm not ready for her to go into labor yet.
Okay.
No. Wait.
I mean, she would have asked them, as soon as they arrived, how is, my dad?
Well, yeah, that's true. Fine.
Let you, what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And she's at full term at this point, so.
She is. Her due date's like, if it's not now, it's within the next couple of weeks.
Exactly.
So, all right, we can do that real quick.
Or we can do it tomorrow, since we both seem to need sleep. Because you're yawning, I'm yawning.
Yeah, and then this scene's already gone almost an hour and a half.
Yeah. So we will call it with them, getting to know one another and eating pizza.
Yep.
Because what better way is there to get to know one another? Boop. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And this has been another scene for Unmask Orlando. We will see you next time.